And good afternoon, and welcome to our Sunday discussion group for the Sunday service about the meaning of gratitude, where we heard that Beer talking about it. So I want to welcome Kanisha and Caroline for joining us here today. It's really nice to really talk about this topic, and what is the real meaning of being grateful with God. Um, so yeah, so hello guys. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Yeah, today's sermon, I absolutely loved it. Especially, it really touched on things that I was moving through. One of the things that Abir touched on was that we don't always give gratitude to God unless we're receiving something materialistic, in a sense. And one of the things that I had to acknowledge myself that because I wasn't always giving gratitude to God, in a way that was like fluid and consistent, when I did receive those materialistic things, I didn't always know how to like receive them or like really even enjoy them, because I wasn't giving gratitude. I wasn't acknowledging the fact that my Father has given me something that I really desired. And for me, it brought up a little bit of sadness, but it really helped me get clear on how I really desire to have my relationship with God. And that's always like a flow of gratitude. And so I was really grateful that she touched on that, because it was something that I don't think we always quite are aware of it until we're in it, especially when we ask for something and then we have it and then we realize like, oh wow, I'm not really enjoying it, or like giving grace and gratitude in a way that I would think my Father would really appreciate me too. And that's just really being present with yourself and really acknowledging the gifts that you're receiving.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like I can resonate with that too. I had even noticed recently, like God would be giving me gifts, and I would just be like, huh, like this is interesting. Almost like not like really receiving the gifts, almost like this feeling of like, I don't want to say being skeptical, but almost like being like surprised, like, wow, like this showed up, rather than being, oh my gosh, like, thank you. I'm so grateful to be able to receive this. And so what you're sharing resonates with me about like just being in that space of being able to like fully receive, and what that feels like when it comes to being grateful and having that gratitude with God.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, what I also really like about it was like how um, we can just like be just thankful with the things that, yeah, like you're saying, guys, like we don't see. And just like Jason and Chrissy were saying, don't start looking at the things you don't have, but how about you start looking at the things you do have. Like it seems like sometimes it's easier to start making a list of, oh my God, I'm missing so many things in my life, like something in my job, in my love life, like for the ones, like all of us are in the twin flame journey. Sometimes like maybe your twin flame is not present in the physical, and you're saying like, he's not here, she's not here, but well, in truth we know they're there with us, like we are already with them, but we can appreciate all the things that are coming in our way as a path of learning. Like also like Michaela, like Jose and Michaela were talking about how important is like to walk the journey. And this is the beautiful path of ascension. Like every single step that we are taking, every choice that we're making in order to heal, that's something to be grateful to. Um, yeah, that's something that really touched my heart. Like so how many things I can just start to just like creating this list. Maybe it's like it's a real one or just in my heart, but about all the things that I do have. Yeah, don't focus only on the external things, on the material things, but uh, really be thankful for the ones that we have spiritually, like all the achievements that we keep we keep getting in our lives and in our journeys. So that's something that I really I really take in my heart from today's sermon.
Yeah, towards the end, she made the comment like, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And a personal experience that I was working through was in my apartment, and I was looking at all the things that like I didn't like about my apartment, like there's a leaky faucet and all this stuff. And I just had this moment where I was like, wow, like all of my focus is on all of the things that I don't like. When I choose to turn my focus on all the things that I love about my apartment, it actually overrules all the things that I don't like about it. And so I really started to put my focus on that. And as I chose to love my apartment as it was, and like what it has really provided for me, very naturally, my landlord started like asking questions about like, is there anything that needs to be fixed, or is there anything that I can come in and like help you with? And those things got fixed. And so it was really understanding the work of the nature of this work is that when you love something completely and you choose to love it where it is, instead of looking at all the things that you don't like about it, like you can really transmute it. And I had to understand that I have complete power over how I live my life. I can live it in this place of everything is wrong and woohoo and all that stuff, or I can really just stop and just be grateful that like God woke me up this morning. He has a purpose for me, and my purpose isn't to complain or to be in a bad mood. That's something I've been working through this week, is acknowledging like when I choose to be in a bad mood, instead of really being grateful and choosing to feel good and to choose love. And so gratitude is the quickest way to really change your mood. Is I noticed if I just start saying 5 to 10 things that I'm grateful for, just energetically I start to feel lighter, I start to feel better. And that comes back to just being really present with yourself, being really present with God.
Yeah, I was thinking about that presence piece as you were speaking. Just, yeah, this idea where it can be easy, right, to almost focus on what's not going well or what's missing. But then that's so much up here, right? And then as you, choose to be present, it really is being so much in your heart center and then connected with God and that love. And even where a beer spoke about like feeling like that opening in your heart when expressing gratitude, one thing that I practice that I feel like really helps me move into that, it's even like noticing what I'm grateful for, saying out loud, what I'm grateful for, and then saying the words, thank you, thank you, thank you afterwards. And I find just adding in those 3 thank yous, I just immediately feel it in my heart. And it feels so good, to just be like present with that energy of gratitude.
Yeah, I remember.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. It brings me back to one time in my life. I did like a 20-day challenge about like being grateful, and it was like writing down like at least things you're grateful about like every day, and that gave me like a different perspective about what it truly means to just have like even the simple things in life like we take for granted so many times, like just being able like to have a bed where like to lay on, and to like to have running water and clean water, fresh water, just air. So those are so many things, like you were saying, Caroline. They sometimes it's just in your head about the things you don't have, but all the things that you do have. And even in the hardest times, like it can be like through sickness or through uh, like a hard time with your finances. It's always like good to get to see like the good thing. Uh, Something that I've been going through for these past 2 weeks. It's like I got sick, and I needed to be like quarantining in my room. So it's like I've been kind of like by myself all of this time. But at first I was like yeah, the way of thinking like I'm being like punished for something. But then I was like, no, thank God we do have like these teachings, the unionism teachings and Jeff and Shaleia teachings, that that have helped me to overcome this. So I just started like to change the gear in my brain and to really see the beautiful gift that I was being given. Like spending time by myself was like really spending time with God and just going deeper in my journey. Like I've got a long time to watch classes and to really work on my blogs, and just being with myself has been like I can be thank more thankful with God for giving me this time. Otherwise I wouldn't have, like, I always like get lost in, I have so many things to do, like there's work, there's like school, like many other responsibilities, but right now like the the only responsibility that I had was being with myself. So I just chose to be thankful for that, and it's been like a beautiful lesson. So like that's something that really touched me about like today's sermon. Um, yeah, just like the title of it, it was just like so beautiful, and I know like God was like kind of was giving me like this final piece in this step in my journey, because like I'm finishing this quarantine like on Tuesday. So it feels like, okay, you have overcome this. So maybe it's a big opportunity to share all of my lessons and how I am grateful for this. So yeah, that really touches my heart.
I love that. As you were talking about that, what came up for me was like all the things that I'm grateful for that didn't work out for me. All the things that I thought I wanted. And I was like, this is for me, God. And he's like, no, it's not. I have something better. And by witnessing those kinds of things and really being grateful for those things, it's really helped me build my trust with God, that he's always going to help me have the life that I truly desire if that's what I choose with him, because I can only have the life that I truly desire with God. And so if that means that there are certain things that I didn't receive, like past relationships, or like wondering why they didn't work out for whatever reason, it was like he was always leading me to what was really meant for me. And so it's really okay to completely surrender and just give it all to God, and you will receive what it is that's truly like designed for you. And so I've had to spend some time just being really grateful for the people that I thought I wanted in my life, but realized they weren't meant for my highest good. And he naturally like took them out of my life, or events or situations that I thought I really wanted. But after it happened, I realized it just wasn't for me. And so like his protection and his love um, is just, it's so beautiful to know that I'm always taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, about like people coming out of your life, like sometimes we yeah, like we're just learning this fully state of surrender to God too. Like I feel it's really connected with gratitude. How um yeah, it's mostly when we are not able to to fully appreciate what we have in our lives. It's kind of, it comes from a place of controlling things too, like because we feel that we know what is best for us, but in truth, God's always have a better plan for us, like and and in truth it's what we really want, because he already knows like the desire in our hearts. So um it's it's challenging probably to be grateful at all times, like this kind of like of being positive against all of the things that can like you can encounter in your journey. But it's also like a matter of practicing it, like knowing that yeah, it's a process too. It's like we're all learning, what comes to my consciousness right now, it's like the card that was pulled by Jose and Michaela about like this gateway that you could see like everything was like gray in gray tones, and it was just like a gate with light. So that's something that we can relate to gratitude. Like maybe it's a small thing, like we are all sharing right now, like our stories. It can be like a really, it looks like a really tiny thing, but in truth it's really bright, and that little piece can bring a lot of light and a lot of joy in our lives when we just choose to see with different eyes. And in truth, it's like with the eyes of love and with the eyes of God. um yeah, so yeah, that's something that I wanted to share with you too.
Yeah, it makes me think also like about the quote from Jeff and Shalea's sermon that Abir spoke to, just about like choosing to be in this state of appreciation. And that I guess came back into my mind when you were speaking, Maite, just about even just like the different lens you see things through, like once you start making that choice. And of course, at first, as you get used to being in the practice of it, it definitely is being more intentional about it, and then it becomes more natural, right? The more that you do end up practicing it, and then there's like so much that you see to be grateful for. And so it is like the world becomes more colorful in a way, in terms of just like what your experiences are, what God is giving you, how you're experiencing the world with God, and like really partnering with God. And also the piece about finding meaning, right, in difficult times, right? Almost looking for the silver lining and finding gratitude for the lessons being shown. I think that's so powerful. And I think that's also beautiful then to also like take that lesson to be able to share with others too. That takes, I feel like, even like a lot of strength to move from that space of, oh man, why did this have to happen? So, okay, this happens. What is the lesson I'm being shown? Okay, I'm really grateful for being shown this lesson, to be able to master whatever's coming through and to transcend the situation, and therefore to be able to help others with that too. And just having so much gratitude how God is like really partnering with you with these difficult or more challenging, I guess, situations too, to help you grow and move more into the space of just being grateful for the experience too. And I think, yeah, that can be like really neat to think, about like, okay, this, thing feels challenging right now. What is there about this for me to be grateful for? And then, yeah, that feeling of things feeling like challenging really does dissolve as you change the lens that you're looking at it through. And that's been my experience. Yeah. Or even in different struggles, even just like reminding myself, okay, in this present moment, I have everything that I need, right? And to just like allow myself to like really tune into the gratitude of everything like presently that exists in my life and all these gifts I presently have from God. And so I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, one of the things that she did bring up was like, and I talked about this with a few friends just recently, was this belief that God is a punishing God and that we have to fear him. And if we don't do things correctly, like we're going to be punished. And so I feel that a lot of times people get stuck in this, like, what did I do wrong? Like, can you help me, God? And that's how we like get into that kind of like that needy child energy where we just like want God to fix everything, but we're not really looking at what the lesson is and what we're being taught here. And so really allowing ourselves to understand that like God is only a loving God and that we're only meant to grow through whatever the struggle is. We're not meant to sit in the upset or sit in the negative story. And that's why we have this work.
Yeah, what it brings up to me while you're sharing that, Kanisha, is that yeah, like some of us, or like the majority of us, have been raised with this mindset of like, even when something like not so fortunate happens in our lives, like you don't have to question it. It's just like God send that to you. But they haven't taught us to really look what it's behind or underneath that. Like, yeah, it's another thing to be grateful about it. Of course, it's not gonna happen like Caroline was saying, like um like from one day to the other. Like it's something that we're learning, we're practicing, but knowing that it's not that God sends these bad things or bad situations in our lives, but they are just lessons, truly. Um, and in fact, like with these teachings, we understand that it's not really like we're not victims. We're never victims, and it's just something that happens in our lives to learn from that. So when we start just like it's like using the mirror exercise and knowing that everything is just in our favor, and even when yeah, when something might seem it hurts, we know that it's just for us to heal that. And that's something that really like changed my life since I found Jeff and Shalia's work. um, it's knowing that yeah, I've never was a victim in my life, and it first like it really shocked me when I when I was in one of the first in my first Ascension coaching sessions, that my coach pointed out that like I was like crying, like, oh, these things happen. And like, I, I was really hurt by my friends because they were pointing out things about me. Like they were really being mean and they were not respecting me. And then I understood that, okay, that happened in my favor. Like I created that like because I was doing that to myself. So I understood that even like I don't need to like feel like punish other people too. Like sometimes I tend to fall in that pattern of like making everyone else like uh, the one who caused me the bad feelings. But knowing that I can be thankful for them. Like, thank you very much for pointing all of these things to me so I can heal them and I can continue on this loving journey to know myself more, to know God more. And that's beautiful. It's like I really I want to extend what Abir was saying to like to really to be thankful about for God and for Jeb and Shalia's teachings. Like truly, um, because being here, being part of the community, it's it's a blessing. It's a true blessing, and yeah, it's something that I really I'm thankful about today. Yeah, having these teachings and knowing that it's challenging to see the good things sometimes, but it's it gets easier as long as we keep choosing to keep healing and learning more in this community.
Yeah, I love that. I think one of the things that I had to spend time really being grateful for was this community, because we all move through the same thing. And I'm also very grateful for those who have chosen to dive into this work and to really help heal the collective, to bring twin flames together. And I love when they share. So if you don't share, share, because it's so helpful for the rest of us, especially when we're moving through things and sometimes we feel alone or feel like no one else gets what we're saying. And then someone in the community posts about it and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm not alone. And they understand completely how I feel. And you're actually able to move through it a little bit faster because you're seeing the oneness in the upset. You're seeing that like, oh, like I'm not the only one moving through this. This is a conscious thing. And I can move through it with the support of my coaches or the support of anyone from the community. That's also what I love about this community is you can literally reach out to anyone and someone will help you work through that upset. They're not going to be like, no, you got to pay me this before I help you. Like they're all completely in a space of unconditional love where they just want to see you thrive and succeed and to be in your harmonious union. And that is something that's different than really anything else that you see in the world right now. Like one of the things that I love is like when I see couples coming together, harmonious unions coming together, because of this work, I can just like have so much love and gratitude and just so much happiness comes from it. When before, if someone had something that I didn't quite have yet, I would go into that negative Nancy energy. And so really being able to see just how much I've grown and being able to really love and see that their success is also my success, and being able to just embrace my community that way, my family that way. My community is my family. And so I'm just so grateful for those who have chosen to walk this path and who are here in this community and who choose love at the core, who choose oneness at the core, who choose their creator and their twin flames. It's really just, it's so beautiful. It's so juicy. It just feels so good.
Yeah, the word like blessings is standing out to me. And Maite, I think you used it, and Kanisha, when you were speaking, that made me think of that too. And it's almost like seeing everything as like really like this blessing, right? Like seeing our lessons as blessings, as gifts, to be like, oh, I think like as Maite, you were saying, you know, like, thank you, God, for gifting me this experience to be able to move through and learn from and heal through and grow from. And I just, love that idea. Just, noticing all the blessings, or everything truly is a blessing as you move into that space to see it that way. And so I think, like Kanisha, what you were sharing about like even stopping to recognize where you were to where you are now. I think that's really important on this journey for sure, because sometimes we forget to do that, you know? And I think it is, thinking about, I know for myself, I was definitely more in like a victim mindset, you know, like, oh, why is this stuff happening to me? Before coming into this work. And it's just like really beautiful just to be in this space of feeling more empowered and knowing I co-create my reality with God. And it is all lessons, and it is everything to have this gratitude about, you know, and it just, feels so loving just seeing it that way, you know, that God is really here helping us to evolve, you know, and that is absolutely something, it's a blessing and something to be really grateful for. And I'm very grateful for that.
Something that really something that was shared in the sermon was that about sharing, what Kanisha was saying, like the purpose of healing is also sharing, and the healing is not complete if you don't share it in any way that you feel called to. So that's another thing about like extending this this gratitude, so to the world and to all the people that are just like not only part of the community but to the world, to the entire world. um it really feels like giving a piece back to God. Like it's like we don't need to pay God and like pay back anything, but for me sometimes it feels like it's at least this thing I can do. Like I know, like by loving, by extending this, what I've have in my life with others, with the word, with just my experience, because that really means something. So maybe we think that it's not valuable or it cannot be like really helpful for others, but it really makes a difference. And as we are one, yes, we're just one consciousness, there's always going to be someone who can be related to what you're sharing, and that person, we don't have idea how much impact we can cause in others lives. So that's amazing. Like so many times I have, like, that has happened to me, that I feel a little bit lost, and I just go into the, like, in the forum, in the unionist forum, or in the open forum, that I just go and read something, that, like, I just scroll down and I read some updates in someone's journey, or even someone asking for advice or for support, and I just connect to that person, and it's like, oh my God, thank you for saying this. Like, maybe I wasn't brave enough to share that, because yeah, it's like these worthiness blocks too that come up sometimes, like oh, maybe I shouldn't say this, but when you read that, then you say, oh my God, thank you, God, for this person. Maybe it's someone you never talked to before, but um, that's those are like the little things, like, oh, I can be thankful for this, and yeah, that really warms up my heart, knowing that um, everything is just based in love too, and nothing bad can come out of it. So yeah, that really gives me a lot of, yeah, gratefulness in my heart.
I love that you shared that, because I was in the open forum for about almost a year before I joined the work. And for that year, I was really numbing out, but I kept like checking into the open forum for whatever reason. That's how God was like working through me. And Karina had posted an update in her journey, and I just remember reading it and just completely resonated with it. And then from there, I jumped right into the work. And so you never know, like just by sharing something about your journey, like someone who's so on the fence about this work, and then they just resonate with your post and then decide to jump all in just because you shared yourself, you shared God in that space, is so profound. And so I know a lot of people are fearful of sharing because they don't think they're going to be received, or they don't think that anyone cares. These are things that I've had to work through. And I just had to realize just by reading a lot of posts is that like you're just going to receive love. You're just going to receive sometimes in your posts, sometimes people will see things that maybe you don't see, and they're able to like point out something, and you just go deeper into healing and go deeper into love there. But just to share yourself and to share your journey, like I just have so much gratitude for those who work through that block and really show up for themselves in that way and show up for the community. It's really just a beautiful thing to work through, and I commend you. And so, yeah, like I said, you never know who may read your post and then decide like, you know what, I'm done with the suffering, I'm done with the BS, I'm ready to have God, I'm ready for my twin flame, and then they jump into this work.
Yeah, that makes me think about, and I think we often might not think this, but others might say, hey, like, I'm so grateful to like know Kanisha, or I'm so grateful to know Mai Tai, or, or I'm so grateful, yeah, that this sharing happens. And it's really right, this gratitude of like how we're sharing God through us. But I think that can be really powerful to, yeah, really tune into the difference that we're able to make for others too, which again is something to feel grateful for, right? And to know, oh my gosh, like my story is making a difference for others. And so as somebody maybe expresses that gratitude that they feel, we also then would feel that gratitude back. Yeah.
Yeah, and also it's like saying it and making other people know that we are thankful for them. That really also like makes a difference too. Um, like hearing those words, sometimes we take for granted these two words, like thank you, but they are really like powerful. And in truth, like no one is in debt with you, like to do something for you. So like thank you is like powerful. Like that's how I see it in my life and in my daily practice. um like yeah, knowing that if, yeah, like sometimes like a stranger that like makes something for you on the street, like I don't know, like someone picks something that falls up to the ground, like you have some like many things in your hands and something falls down and he picks that up for you. Those like simple gestures, it's like people don't really need to do them, but they do. So appreciate that. Like that comes like also like with a lot of appreciation about things that others can do for you and that you can do for them. Yeah, that's something else. And what I was also like thinking about is like the story that um Abir touched and she shared with us about how like everything uh, like like summarizes in patience and thankfulness, like how important it is, like patience too. How she said like how patience is kind of like being invisible. And yeah, like knowing that sometimes like this great fortune can come into your life, but you don't have to like get obsessed with that really. But having like just like patience with like what is coming to like in your life, knowing that it's always good what it's coming ahead. And uh yeah, don't stay in your head too much, because sometimes yeah, you can be thankful about all the good things that you have, like these great things that are happening, and you just sit on that. But the point of like also having these big achievements is to keep expanding what you have and what you're gonna do with that. Like God, it's gonna grant you with a lot of things, not just like we were talking a lot about like spiritual things and things that like fill our hearts. But of course, like God is also going to give us like material things that we want and we desire, because it's a way of like He's showing us how He nurture us and He takes care of us. But how important it is to really extend that to others in like in the way that feels good to you, and also in a way that you don't like left yourself like starve or like put yourself in a position that it's not good for you. But always like share that with a grateful heart and with this yeah, like not with this victim like in a victim position, like I'm going to starve myself to give you more, or to to show you how grateful can you be for me or for the things I do for you. But really just with love. I feel it's just like just doing it with love. And yeah.
Yeah. How are you ladies feeling? Are you feeling complete here?
Yeah, this feels good to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us in this after tea church time. I hope you have enjoyed this, and looking forward to share with you on the next time. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.